But as you have read, Muhammad's biography is hopelessly entwined with legend. What we know about Muhammad is what later Islamic and Arab commentators wanted to have happened to Muhammad. There are several sources for the life of Muhammad and for thus the early years of Islam. There are formal biographies called Sira, S-I-R-A. The problem with these is they were written long after Muhammad's death, 100 years at least. There are collections of oral tradition called Hadith, Hadith, to which similarly there are sayings, proverbs. These are also questionable because although they were put together within 50 years of Muhammad's death, they're very heavily influenced by the First Civil War of the 650s, which we will be talking about the day after tomorrow. And then there's the Quran. The Quran, which is supposed to represent the words of Muhammad as inspired by divine, composed by divine inspiration. The Quran itself is a text that scholars outside of the Islamic tradition have questioned in terms of when it was put together, how much by Muhammad, how soon after Muhammad. The problem with all these sources is not that they are unreliable in the sense of fabrication, but that they tend to shape events in light of what the writers already know happens, and in light of what they think should happen. So that, as an example, we'll be talking about this in a moment, but you're all aware that in 622, Muhammad moves suddenly from Mecca to Medina. He maybe can be said to flee Mecca. This is called the Hijra, or Hijra, in the Berkey book, H-E-G-I-R-A or H-I-J-R-A, depending on just how faithful you think you're being to the Arab original. The Hijra is a key event in Islamic history. It is the point from which Islamic dating is done. That is to say, the Islamic calendar starts with the Hijra. So this year is the year of the Hijra, such and such. I can't do 2011 minus 622 immediately, but that's the Islamic year, right? According to the traditional historical record, the Meccans tried to assassinate Muhammad, and he escaped narrowly this attempt. There's no real evidence of this degree of hostility on the part of people in Mecca. There's no evidence of an assassination attempt, or at least independent evidence, and the assassination attempt seems to be something that is important for the story, for the way that the story is presented later, to dramatize something that may not have been at the time as dramatic as it seemed. It may have been that the Meccans simply didn't listen to Muhammad and then he accepted an invitation to Medina. It may be that they were trying to sort of shut his movement down, but that they resorted to assassination does not seem to be very likely.